Thank you for joining us. And we have another episode of our Easy DeFi podcast as the part of the Yield Farming Academy. In this educational DeFi and crypto related series, we try to demystify the basic and the complex crypto strategies and crypto principles. And we do this with our friends, with the different blockchains, protocols, wallets, and another DeFi applications. So, what is a Leech protocol? We build the one-click easy DeFi application, which allows you to get yields from the major layer one, layer two blockchains, money markets, dexes, etc., in just one click or just in a couple of clicks. So basically, you have an application which is connected to the different blockchains, different platforms like Thena, Yield.yak, etc. And the liquidity provided into the application powered by Leech protocol is automatically managed to get the best APRs and best yields from the market. And today we have a guest uh, from the Plena Finance, the CEO, Mr. Sparsh. Uh, and I think we will have an interesting conversation today. We will speak about the account abstraction. We are going to cover things about how to start in a DeFi and crypto. I'll ask a couple of questions about what is the smart wallet, and I think we're going to end with the roadmap or strategy about how can safely anyone join the DeFi world. And I want to ask Sparsh to introduce himself and tell more about the Plena Finance.
Sure. So thanks for having me here, guys. So guys, I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Plena Finance. And I would say I have been in this space for, I would say, more than half a decade now. I started working on blockchain projects when I was in college. One of my friends told me to invest in Bitcoin, and when I made some money from Bitcoin, was a bit more curious about this whole technology. And then I started working as a freelance developer. Then went on to become, I would say, blockchain consultant and blockchain architect for more than 15 projects. I have helped them with their product development as well. And after that, I started working on Plena Finance. So just to tell you guys a bit about Plena Finance, it is the first crypto super app powered by account abstraction. And not only that, we have been using this now trending account abstraction technology, which everyone believes that is the only technology which could bring mass adoption to DeFi or other Web3 applications for the past 2 years. And I would say that is a year before Vitalik wrote his white paper on it. So Vitalik published his paper in September 2022, but we have been using the same technology since 2021. And just to give you guys some overview of what account abstraction is, I would say, basically, just to keep it simple, I would say that it gives users a user experience like a centralized exchange, but still gives them full custody of the funds, just like they have on their MetaMask wallet. And you can perform every action on the blockchain in just a single tap without having to buying the blockchain's native token. So one of the example could be, let's say, if you want to buy wrap Bitcoin on BNB chain from your USDT. Now, instead of going and buying BNB to pay for the transaction fees, and doing, let's say, two transactions, the approval and the swap transaction on, let's say, Pancake Swap, you can simply do the swap in one single transaction on Pancake Swap and pay the transaction fee on Binance Smart Chain with USDT instead of paying it with BNB, which is the native token which is used to pay for the transaction fee on BNB chain. And so it gives you a similar user experience to, I would say, a centralized exchange like Binance, but still you have complete control over your funds and yeah, just like a MetaMask wallet.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for the introduction. I think we should ask Vlad, who is joining us as the co-speaker today, and Vlad is a Degen, and Vlad is the Leech Protocols advisor. Vlad, can you tell a little bit more about your experience and your role within the Leech Protocol?
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining this summer session. My name is Vlad. I'm in crypto science 2017. I started from Bitcoin talk forums and the ambassador programs. Then we start develop the DeFi products like wallets, DEXs, lending protocols, and now I'm advisor in LeechProtocol. But I'm fully Degen, as host said. I have full skin in the game. So don't trust me, please. It's not a financial advice to be full skin in the game. And I also believe in a few updates which was during this year, like account abstraction and Web3 AUS, and they may bring the adoption in our crypto space.
Absolutely fantastic. I think we should move with the community probably. So community, please ask all your questions in the comments here under these X spaces, and we will choose a couple of them and we'll try to answer them, and we'll send some cookies for the best questions. I think I will ask Sparsh and Vlad in the end to pick some best questions and answer them. And I would say that I think the first question that I'll have as the host to Sparsh is going to be, what can be the future of the account abstraction? What can be the new use cases that are not yet in the market? Can you tell us what you think? What's your vision, Sparsh, about the future of account abstraction?
Sure. So I would say, I think there's no future of dApps without account abstraction. I would say sorry for saying that, but I think we have all witnessed this, right? So in the last bullion, we saw so many users who bought crypto, who bought NFTs, but like they stopped using those protocols after the bull run ended, right? And it was really difficult for them to keep on using those protocols, and that's why what they did was they moved their funds back to the centralized exchanges from their self-custodial wallets like MetaMask. And the reason for that was the user experience was really complex, right? So I think one of the example that I could give, or if I can compare the Web2 applications with Web3 applications, it would be like if you guys use Uber or Amazon, right? If you guys have used it, when you used it for the first time, you didn't have to go and learn about, let's say, how the APIs work or how the databases work. When you guys use Gmail, they don't ask you to go and learn about how the underlying protocol SMTP works, right? I would say 99.99% of the Gmail users don't know how that works, right? But when you're using a dApp like Uniswap, which is really easy, I would say, for I would say techies, but when you're using those just to buy tokens, a lot of users have to understand so many things, right? So let's say if I'm a new user, I would have to understand, let's say if I'm using Uniswap on BNB chain or PancakeSwap on BNB chain, right? For example, so I would have to first of all understand like why do I need to buy BNB to pay for the transaction fees. Then I would have to understand why do I have to do multiple transactions. I would have to learn about gas prices. On top of that, like if I start with the beginning, I would say from the beginning it would be like I would have to learn about the private keys as well. What are blockchain accounts? Because a lot of users aren't familiar with this whole concept of self custody and also decentralization. So what we have done or what account abstraction is about is to actually abstract all that complexity, and so users don't have to learn anything new, and the dApps or the protocols take care of everything else on their side. And how this works is, so for example in Plena, users, when a new users come, they can actually create a blockchain account with the help of by simply logging in with the Gmail, Twitter, Facebook, or Apple ID, and that actually creates a blockchain account for them, right? And even if they lose their device, so they could actually still recover their assets or still get access to their account even after they lose their device or the private key. So they don't even have to export or store it somewhere because we take care of it, right? And it's actually completely safe because your private key is divided into multiple parts, so no one has access to your private key except yourself. And the next thing is, let's say if I want to swap my token on Uniswap, right? Or let's say provide liquidity to a DEX for, let's say, to a USDC USDT pair where I'm getting, let's say, 30-40% interest rate in bull run or even in the bear market. Uh, and I have, let's say, for example, DAI, and I want to provide liquidity to USDC USDT pair. So if I'm going ahead with MetaMask, which is, I would say, the current approach, or how currently, like how the users would use it currently. So it would be like I go to Uniswap, I have DAI. Now I have to buy. First, I would have to approve my DAI to swap 50% of my DAI to USDC. Then I would have to do another transaction for the swap. Then I would have to do another approval transaction for USDT, DAI, to swap it to USDC. Then perform the actual swap transaction. Those are actually 4 transactions. Then I would have to approve those 2 tokens, which is USDC and USDT again, so that I could actually provide liquidity to that DEX. So in separate transactions, and then do the last transaction, the 7th transaction, to provide liquidity to that particular LP pool, so that I could earn some good rewards. And I would say no average user would do all of these transactions, because it's pretty complex and time consuming as well, and I would say a bit more expensive as well in comparison to account abstraction, or how we do it. So it would be the user experience of the account abstraction would be, you come to our application, you select the pool that you want to provide liquidity to, and let's say it's USDC USDT pool, you have DAI. Now you don't even need the blockchain's native token. In this case, the example was ETH, right? You can just come to our application, click on provide liquidity. Everything would be handled at the backend, and you would be able to pay the transaction fee in USDT without having to doing all these transactions, all these complex transactions. And I would say the use cases are, I would say, infinite, because you can build so many things, right? Another example that comes to my mind related to NFTs is, let's say if I want to buy NFT, right, on an NFT marketplace. So let's just say it's a Clash of Clan NFT, right? A person is selling me their profile, which is NFT, for example, right? And I have COC token, Clash of Clan tokens. I don't have any other token. Let's say I don't have USDT, I don't have anything else, but that NFT is being sold in USDT. So instead of going to a blockchain, buying that blockchain's native token, and buy USDT to buy USDT, and then come to the blockchain application to actually buy that NFT by doing multiple transactions, what that app can do is, they can actually handle everything on their side, and the user would get a user experience like they would be able to buy that NFT from their COC token. And what would happen in the backend is COC would be swapped to USDT. Those USDT would be, I would say, sent to the marketplace contract, and that NFT would be bought for that particular user. And the best part is, sorry, I just want to say one more thing. So this is, I would say, one of the use cases as well, and you can build so many things. And uh, the best part about Plena Finance is that we have our own account abstraction SDK as well. So the dApps don't have to build this whole solution themselves, right? So the way we built it is, it's super easy to integrate. And what the dApps have to do is, they don't need to make any changes to their smart contract or even the front end code. They can just use the same code that they're using for MetaMask, and pass it in our SDK, and the user would get a similar user experience like Plena when they're interacting with your dApps. So you can just batch those transaction data and send all of that together to Plena, instead of sending them to the blockchain one by one, and we would execute that in one single tap or one single transaction. And your users get, I would say, an option to pay the transaction fee in the token of their choice. It could be the same token that they're interacting with, or it could be the token of the dApp as well, like I mentioned in the example of COC as well.
Absolutely fantastic explanation, I would say, Sparsh. And I think this account abstraction thing is so much relevant to the easy DeFi narrative that we are building in the Leech protocol. And I think I want to ask Vlad, as the Leech protocol's advisor, Vlad, how do you think it's gonna impact our own users' experience? Because we think and we know that 95% of the whole users in crypto, they do not engage with the DeFi, right? Because DeFi is it's so complex. You need to have some, um, experience to go into the DeFi, to swap, to create pairs like bridge, etc. Right? So, Vlad, what do you think? What's going to be the impact of the account abstraction, and how is it relevant to the easy DeFi? Can you elaborate a bit on this?
Yes, sure. I think for now we are in DeFi, we are at top of the financial market spire here in DeFi. But to be here to earn some interest, you need to be like fully experienced. So you need to understand even when you just launching the wallet, what means the seed phrase, why you need to store it. You need to understand what are the different blockchains, how to transfer assets between all of them, and you need to know what is the gas fees, and of course you don't want to pay as much as possible, you want to pay as low as possible, and that is not a user experience which compatible to all users in the world, because we have fully trust to our bank applications from any country. Like we can choose Ukraine, we can choose Portugal, we can choose any country, and most of the people here are using the native bank apps, and they are fully custodial. You just need to have a number to support. You can call them and ask them to even restore your account or make a withdrawal or cancel the transaction. And that's I think that's a moment when users giving their responsibility for their own money to someone else who provides a service to process, to accept, to send, to transfer the assets. And the thing is that we, with crypto, we shouldn't create more steps to interact. We shouldn't make it more difficult, but we already did with all of the blockchains, with all of the wallets, with the MetaMask, with all of the networks there, with the gas fees. And during this year, we received a few major updates, which is they're like accepted on the chain level, because the story about the account abstraction was started from Argent in 2020. They made it like a wallet with a smart contracts, when your address is a smart contract and they already pay the gas for you. But now the account abstraction is a fully update in Ethereum, so everyone can take it like a standard to make apps more convenient for users. And I don't want to talk much and deep in technical. I want to make an example which I love very much. It's like you are on some conference in Paris and you want to take a scooter to bring you from point A to point B. How many minutes you need to be on board? So you need to scan the QR code, then you are downloading the application. Then what you're doing, you are logging or signing up in this application with what? With Google or with Apple. So there's already one button which help you to send them your credentials and create an account with a password and email. So you don't need to save any seed phrase. You don't need to make any calls. You don't need to send your phone number and receive a text notification, anything. You just push in one button. Then you're opening an application and you want to pay. How you paying? You're paying through the Apple Pay or Google Pay. And there's also one button. That's it. 2 minutes, you're already on the scooter, moving from point A to point B. And on a different way, if you want to provide liquidity to any application, any DApps in crypto like Uniswap or Aave or anything, what you usually need? You need to install the wallet. You need to store your seed phrase. You need to somehow buy crypto from somewhere, then withdraw it to the chain. You need to understand what's the chain. You need to pay the gas. Then you connect in this wallet. Then you are losing some time with all of these interfaces, trying to understand what it is, how it works, and how to not get wrecked. And that's too much for the regular user. We need to make it more simply. And to make it more simply, we have the account abstraction update and the Web3 AUS. So now users can easily make an account with Web3 AUS, with connecting the social media to this account or Google account, and then with account abstraction, you will use your assets and the amounts for the gas fees will deduct from your transaction. That's it. That's simple as possible. It's like the neobanks. It's like regular banking apps. And that's what we're going to make next bull run. And this is the opportunity to get more users because crypto became more simpler.
So we are on the edge of the next bull run with these new features, which is being developing at the moment, right? And I think that this is going to be another feature that we will introduce in the Leech protocols roadmap because it's so much relevant to the easy DeFi and letting more people join the DeFi space. Mr. Sparsh, I would like to ask you a bit more about your concept of smart wallet. Is it your concept, and can you elaborate about that?
Sure. So I would say when I started working on Plena, so there were a bunch of smart wallets available. But the problem with those smart wallets was that I would say they were really basic. Like you can do a bunch of stuff, like you can batch transactions, and it would be a multi-signature wallet. But apart from that, it was all the same. Like you would have to connect your MetaMask to that wallet in order to pay for the transaction fees, and you would still be paying the transaction fees in the blockchain's native token. So nothing was changed except for some of the things inside that wallet. Like if you want to lend tokens on Aave or Compound Finance, you could actually do that in one tap. But most of the things weren't being handled. And on top of that, users were still getting that complex user experience when they used to interact with different apps. And what we have built is, I would say, like when we built it, like it was completely revolutionary. I think we were the first application to start using this whole technology. And but I would say the whole industry started believing in this technology when Vitalik published his paper on account abstraction. So although like how I would say account abstraction in Plena works is also pretty similar. What we do is we create a smart wallet, or let's say a smart contract wallet for every user, and that is their primary account. Earlier, it used to be that the your MetaMask account would be your primary account, whichever account is holding the private key, right? And in our case, your primary account is a smart contract account, which has all the funds. You keep all the funds there, and for simplicity, what we do is we just hide the address of the, I would say, or you can say the public key that is being generated from the private key from the user, and we just show them the smart contract account, which would be created for the user once they do the transaction. And that account is able to handle all the complexities. So the problem with the existing EO accounts, so externally owned accounts are accounts similar to, I would say, MetaMask Trust Wallet accounts or other, I would say, wallet accounts. They aren't able to do anything else except for signing transaction, right? They can sign the transaction, but what smart contract accounts are able to do is they can execute any code that you send to them, right? So I can send a really complex code with really complex transactions to a smart contract, and they would be able to execute it. That could have any sort of commands. And but at the core of it, it would be your EU account which is signing the transactions. Uh, and Yeah, I think that's basically how the we use account abstraction, and that's the difference between the account abstraction smart contracts and or smart wallets and the smart wallets which existed before these this account abstraction technology.
So can anyone as a retail, just average crypto user, download and use your smart wallet and start earning some yields in a DeFi?
So current, like we had this feature before, but what we have built is honestly we can't build everything for the users, right? That's why we came up with our SDK. So it could be like we partner with LeechProtocol. They can actually do yield farming and get much more higher returns, right? You can build those complex strategies, but the users can actually download our wallet and connect to your dApp to get a similar user experience like us. So that one tap user experience. And yeah, the best part is that you don't have to make any changes to your code as well.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic, and I think we should elaborate more about that. I think, Vlad, if anything else you want to add, or maybe we should go to the next part of our conversation, which is gonna be, um, like, can you, as the experienced users, tell our audience, like, if someone is new to the crypto and DeFi, what should be the steps to start in the crypto first and DeFi as the second step? What do you think? Maybe Vlad can start?
From my opinion, it's always depends on how much time you have and how much assets you are able to allocate for that. Because every crypto journey starting with some assets. It might be $10, $100, 10K, 100K, 1 million, and it always different and approach always different. If you have low budget, I advise you to spend more time and try to participate in some airdrops, in some ambassador programs, try to help some product. Maybe you will find a job in crypto, and that's a major boost for you, because with a job in crypto, you may understand everything well from the technical side. If you don't have too many hours, and you have, for example, 10K or 20K, you can just start with simply buying BTC and storing it in non-custodial wallet like Electrum. Or if you want to be more experienced users, you can try to figure out what is the liquidity providing, how the IMM protocols works, and how to earn some interest on that. And that's the another level. So it's my advice to start with $100. Try to provide liquidity in Uniswap. Try to understand what's the liquidity pools, how it works, what's the impermanent loss, what's the pluses and minuses in all of these opportunities, and then only then deploy your full allocated capital. So that's from my experience.
Thank you very much. Well, nothing discussed here in this AMA session is there any kind of financial advice. I'm still very keen to understand Mr. Sparsh's approach about starting in a crypto and DeFi. Maybe you can share your own experience, or you can elaborate on that.
Sure. So I would say mine was a bit different because I am from a technical background. I was doing my engineering back then in IT. And before using MetaMask, I already knew how the whole blockchain system works, right? The blockchain technology works. And I think how the users should start in DeFi is like we have already seen the old approach fail, right? We have seen that if we keep going ahead with the current user experience or not changing anything related to the user experience of the dApps, we're destined to fail, or we won't see many users coming into crypto, and they would keep on using the centralized platform like, let's say, FTX, or I would say Celsius, or other platforms which failed miserably. And I think if we need mass adoption of blockchain applications, or we want more and more users to use self-custodial solutions like, let's say, Plena or even Trust Wallet, right? We need to provide them a much easier user experience so that I think they stick to that application, right? They stick to that, let's say, wallet, or they stick to that particular application. They keep on using it. Otherwise, like once this whole trend ends, once the bull run ends, they would keep on moving they would move their funds back to a centralized exchange like Binance or FTX, right? Because they're much easier to use, and that's what everyone needs. Because I would say Vlad was talking about providing liquidity to pool, right, on Uniswap or any other DEX, and I would say that's a really good example. And the best part about this is like a lot of users still don't know that they can get so much higher interest rate on their stable coins if they, let's say, provide a liquidity to, let's say, USDC USDT pool instead of providing or supplying those to Aave or Compound, supplying that stablecoin USDC or USDT to Aave or Compound, right? Because when there's any trade happening on that pool, users get a percentage of that trade. And a lot of users still don't do that. They still prefer to provide liquidity to Aave because the steps included in that is far less than providing liquidity to a DEX, because you end up doing 7 to 8 transactions. Same goes with LP staking and other actions that the users have to perform as well. So I would say the only thing we need to do is, as a dApp or as a Web3 community, is to simplify the user experience, and we would definitely see more and more people coming into Web3 and using those dApps, and also staying there instead of moving.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Their funds back to a centralized exchange after the bull run ends.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think, guys, as the way to say thank you for joining us. If you want your questions to be answered, please go to our community chat. We just posted a link to our Telegram chat, and please copy paste or write in our community chat and Telegram your question, and we will get back shortly to pick some best or some more interesting questions, and we will send some cookies in the end of the day, maybe tomorrow, maybe depends on the number of questions. And I think we should move to the last part before going to the community questions. And the last part is always about the safety, right? So I would like to ask our speakers and guests to share their own experience on how to choose safe protocols, safe products, safe wallets, safe safe engagements and activities that you should join, and how to be more safe, or to create a more safer environment if a newbie or even a degen is doing some stuff in the crypto. I think, Vlad, maybe you should share, or you can, or you may share anything about that, how to become more safe when you start in crypto.
It depends, and I would love to start with the risks of using any DeFi application. We're not going to talk about the custodial applications like Texas, because you should have full trust to the custodian. If you believe that CZ didn't steal your money, that's your choice. But we are talking about the decentralized finance, and usually risks start with the wallet which you are using, because all of the wallets written by the programmers is the people, normal, regular people make mistakes. So then the second risk is the risk of tokens, which are you using, because some of them might be rapid tokens, like rapid BTC on Ethereum, and you may verify or you may trust to a breach which are wrapping their tokens. Then the third risk is the risk of the blockchain, because if you're using a fancy chain, it might have some problems with the consensus, with nodes, and like Solana. Solana likes to have a weekend sometimes with a frozen blockchain or like near, and that's usually happened even with the Arbitrum. It was. And it's a third risk, the risk of the blockchain, risk of the infrastructure. Then we only start with the smart contracts. So we have three risks before you start using any DApp. And on the fourth place, we have a smart contracts of any DeFi applications. If you provide liquidity in a DEX written by the programmers, the smart contracts written by the programmers, they are the regular people, they're making mistakes. And then if you're bringing your tokens to some farming contract, there's also another risks of farming contract, because all of them made by people. And only after it, we have some economical risks of the protocol inside. Maybe the developers lose some stuff, and it's possible to make a flash loan or make a sandwich attack on your deposit. And that's kind of economical risks which you should take into account. And that's already a really bunch of the points which you should know, and it's all for the experienced users. From my opinion, one best rule which you can take for your own, it's try first to use any application with different wallet, with your test wallet. So on that wallet, you shouldn't have all of your assets, only like $100 or $500, and you're usually testing the applications from this wallet on $10. Just try to provide liquidity to participate some farming. You will see where is the hidden commissions. You will see where is the hidden locks of your liquidity, and it's okay to lose $10. It's like the educational fee for learning how it works and what may be with your assets. Then to talk about it in more deep way, first you should understand what's the mechanics of the protocol and why they making the opportunity to earn some interest. Because if they giving you free money for your money, maybe your money is a goal for this product. That's usually how scammers works. Then you should understand the path which you should on which you should go to provide liquidity, because you're usually withdrawing some money from Texas or from any other blockchains, paying all of these commissions and fees for the transfers. And you should take it into account, because some APRs might be not good if you spend $100 just to transfer your 1,000. So that's also important. Then you should understand what's the nature of the token which are you using, because we have a different economics, some of them deflationary, some of them inflationary. And if you are seeing the greatest APR like 500% per year, that might be amazing only during the one day, and after all of those tokens will be sold. So that's another important thing. Then after it, we have usually some hidden fees and hidden commissions. Try this application with your test wallet on a $10. That's the rule. And then if you receive some reward token and that's not as stable, you should also understand what the nature of this token. You should store it or you should sell it or what's going to be. So you definitely need to read all of the docs near of the product and about the product, and you should do your research. That's most important. And in final, what I want to say, please don't put all of your assets in one protocol, in one farming. You should have a portfolio, and you should diversify your portfolio. And that means that you should have stable coins, you have a fiat money, you should have some BTC address, non-custodial with a non-custodial wallet, because the most important is to leave as much as possible in crypto to receive as much as possible opportunities. If you start from your first day using perpetual futures, putting your assets on a leverage, you may to lose it. If you lose it, you will have a bad opinion about all of the industry. You will think that's a bubble. You will think that's a shit, and you're gonna never back again. That's a thing that you should have your emotional balance, and you should live as much as possible in this sphere, in this industry, because you may to receive opportunities here. And it might be today, it might be during the months, it might be during the 4 years, how our cycles work with halving and economics. That's my approach.
Thank you, Vlad, very much. We have dozens of community questions. I really appreciate that. And let's do it the next way. Mr. Sparsh, I just tagged you on the one comment in the Twitter. If you can, just take a look and read it. While I want to address the risk management policies that we have in our own protocol, and after that we can get back to the question to Mr. Sparsh. I think that in order to understand how the Leech protocol managing the risks, you need to understand the concept of the mixed pools. So the mixed pool is the place where like anyone can provide liquidity, and it's been managed with the smart contracts and the different blockchains and the different pools and different money markets are connected to the mixed pools based on the risk level. So basically, we have two risk levels at the moment: the medium risk and the low risks. And the risk level is the thing that makes our analytics divide the connected pools and protocols. So the liquidity that goes to the low risk mixed pool, for example, is being divided into the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a dozen another protocols, and being split into the dozen protocols based on the APRs and the yields that are being provided. So it is done automatically. So it is managed automatically with the smart contracts, and the liquidity management is being done automatically, depending on the chosen risk level. And having this type of architecture strategy, this is the basic actually strategy. This is the strategies that is being open for everyone, while we have some closed farming strategies for the Leech Club. So having this open strategy involving like 5 to 10 different pools makes the risks of, for example, depegging the stable coin or dumping of some specific asset in some specific connected pool, it makes the impact of the whole deposit provided to this pool much lesser than if the liquidity goes just to one or another pool in 100% amount. And another benefit of having this mixed pools divided liquidity across the blockchains and dexes is that if someone will try to do this by his own, he will obviously gonna pay the fees. he's always obviously gonna need to switch blockchains, swap, etc., etc., and it's gonna involve a lot of the fees. And this is not the story for the Leech protocol's approach, because when liquidity is being automated in bulk, the fees are going to be so small that no one's gonna really see these fees. And at the moment, the Leech protocol takes the fees on our side. So you are not paying fees when the liquidity is managed and the liquidity goes to one pool or another pool. So we think this is the basic and really, really quite straightforward and simple approach for the risk management, for the liquidity. And of course, we have two security audits made by Haken. I think this is as they say in crypto, there is not enough audits, and you always need to make another one if you want to be safe. But still, we have managed to do the two of them, and I think we will do another one in the short future. Mr. Sparsh, did you see the comment? Did you have a chance to take a look on that? Maybe you can comment. So the comment is about the risk management. What are the risk management policies that Plena Finance using to safeguard the investments and credits granted?
Sure, I went through the question. So I would say the strategies that we have implemented is like, first of all, the most important thing is to keep the users fund safe, right? And for that, what we have done is like we integrated Web3 auth for social logins, so users never lose access to their private keys or their blockchain account, and eventually their funds, right? And the second thing that we did was we got our smart contracts audited by some, I would say, really reputable names in the industry like Certec and PeckShield. So you were saying the same thing, like getting it audited from getting the contracts audited multiple times. So we've done the same thing. We got it audited from the, I would say, the best ones or the biggest names in the industry. And yeah, so we have other really amazing features as well. So the best part is, let's say when you interact with any protocol, right? So whether it's Uniswap, Aave, or any other protocol, when you're interacting with them via any other wallet, you're giving infinite approval to that smart contract. And the problem with infinite approval is that they can actually deduct amount from your wallet even without you signing a transaction. So let's say this happened with, I think, Sushi Swap as well, right? One of their smart contracts got hacked and they were asking their users to revoke the approval. But what happens in Plena Finance is when you're interacting with the protocol, let's say for swapping your token, we just give the exact amount of approval required for the swap, not anything more. Because once the swap has ended or once you've made the swap, there's no approval or allowed limit for that particular smart contract to deduct from your wallet. So I would say that's one of the, I would say, feature that Plena Finance has as well to keep our users fund safe. But yeah, I think what users need to keep in mind is when they're interacting with the protocol, just check if they have an audit report from a reputable audit firm, and the issues mentioned in the audit has been resolved by the project as well. And yeah, just make sure that uh, you haven't given infinite approval to that particular protocol, even if it's a good one, because you don't know what could go wrong.
Thank you very much. I think I just found another one, and I think it's more like I think we can answer from a technical standpoint more. It's a question from Gabriel Cura. And when creating portfolios, is there a minimum or maximum number of assets that can be included? Are there any assets restrictions? And from the Leech protocol's technical point of view, right now we allow only stable coins at the moment, and later we will allow ETH and BTC and major altcoins. And I think from the Plena Finance perspective is more the question to Mr. Sparsh.
Sure. So I would say, talking about smart portfolios, so the maximum number of tokens that you can add in your portfolio is currently 10, because we didn't want our users to add, I would say, pay more transaction fees as well, because when you're buying more tokens, you're also paying the transaction fees as well. But we're actually thinking of increasing that as well. But yeah, thanks for asking that question, and you can actually share your views in the Discord group as well. And I think if our users need more tokens in the smart portfolio, then we could actually increase that limit as well.
Thank you. I think we should choose another one from a Twitter. And can I ask you to go to our community chat, like Telegram, join and choose any question that you think is interesting while I'm gonna read another one from the Twitter. That's for the Mr. Sparsh, by the way. The Twitter question from the Kimberly Gardner. Can you provide some specific examples of the automated investment options and preset strategies available in Plena Finance? I think that's for you, Mr. Sparsh.
Sure. So we like the whole automated investment thing is ready. It's just that our legal team is working on it. And so what happens in automated investment is, I would say, it's a strategy called dollar cost averaging. So what you're doing is you're investing in, let's say, the selected tokens that you want to invest in at a regular interval. It could be every day, every week, or every month as well, or it could be a longer interval as well. So let's say if I'm investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum, right, just two tokens, and what I can do is I can set up automated payments for that particular portfolio or particular strategy. Let's say if I want to invest, let's say $2,000 every month in that strategy. So what would happen is I would like in the back end, if you're talking about the technical perspective, so it would be let's say that approval would be given to a smart contract, and the smart contract is also built in a secure way, so you won't be doing it. The funds won't be able to be used for anything else apart from providing let's say or adding funds to your smart contract or that portfolio strategy. So I could actually set up automated payments, and every month 2000 USDT would be deducted from my account, and ETH and BTC would be bought for the user or for me every month or whatever interval I specified. So you're actually buying tokens every month, regardless of the price. So I would say the benefit of that is when the price goes up, you're actually definitely buying less shares. But when the price goes down, you're getting more shares. So and this strategy is, I would say mostly used by really big investors as well, and really big traders as well. So in the long run, it has been proven to give you much more or higher returns. But yeah, depending on the tokens or I would say projects that you're investing in. So when you're investing in coins, just do your own research. Bitcoin and Ethereum was just an example. And yeah, you can definitely check out the things like the projects, tokenomics, the teams, the problems that they're solving before investing in those coins.
Thank you. Yes, please always do your own research. While you can find every document about the Leech protocol on docs.leechprotocol.com. Where is the place where anyone can find the document on the Plena Finance? Is there any specific link that you want to share?
I would say everything's available on our website. The light paper and the contract audits as well. When you click on Certical Peg Shield, you would be redirected to their audit reports, and or you can just go to their website and search Plena Finance as well, and you'll see the audit reports there as well.
Okay, good. So let's move to the Telegram, and I want to ask the question to Mr. Sparsh one more time. One more question. Would you explain the security stage by using social login, comparing with phrases, password models, and in which ways we can make them more secure? Mr. Vlad or Mr. Sparsh, can anyone elaborate?
Sure. So Vlad was also talking about Web3 also we're using the same technology. So what happens with social login is you're just creating a blockchain account with your email address. So Web3 what they do is they actually divide that private key into multiple parts. So and one part is stored at let's say one part is stored in your email address, one part is stored at in the cloud with Web3 auth, and it could be divided into multiple parts as well. And when you're signing a transaction, that private key is combined and that transaction is signed for you. So the best part is even Web3 or can't get access to your private keys. And I would say I have been using it for a while because honestly, we as human beings do make terrible mistakes as well when we're creating accounts or storing something, right? Especially our private keys, because it's just a random number and you can't keep it, I would say, in a vault or something. You can, but it's much more better to actually use this approach where your private key is divided into multiple parts, and even if you lose your access to your device or your private key, you can still get it back by simply logging into your Gmail account, right? And that's what I have been using as well, because in the past, like, I lost access to my account as well, or I think I was a bit careless saving that private key, and it was hacked as well. So that's why in Plan as well, I have been using the Gmail login. But yeah, it's up to you which option that you want to choose. You definitely get two options to choose from. You can create a new wallet as well, or you can log in with that social login feature as well inside our application. Or if you have your own private key, you can import that as well.
Thank you very much. I think this is the last chance to ask any question to the LeechProtocol, how it works, or to the Plena Finance, how it works. So, Mr. Sparsh, can you take a look on any question in the Twitter or in the Telegram? If anything you like, just look for it and you may answer it. And the same for the Vlad, I think. I think Alex wants to go to the stage. Alex, I'm letting you add as a speaker. Alex, it's your time to ask your question. While Alex is connecting, I'm asking both of our guests to find the best question that they want to answer. Alex, we don't hear you. Just unmute yourself and ask anything to the LeechProtocol or to the Plena Finance. You are speaker right now.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. The noise on the background. Go on. If you have something to ask, just go on.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can, loud and clear. Loud and clear. But no, I think something is wrong. Sorry, but we cannot hear you. We cannot hear you, so probably Victor, you have a chance to ask anything from the stage. If we can hear you, so please. Yep, just unmute yourself, Victor, and ask anything. Yep, loud and clear.
Can I ask my question?
Yep, go.
Yeah, my question is, what is your upcoming update development and plan? How do you generate income? What is the revenue model?
Okay, thank you for your question. I think I can start from the LeechProtocol's perspective, and the revenue model is that we take 15% of the revenue that we generate from the yield farming. And the next big update is going to be the connection of new mixed pools and new blockchains and new money markets and dexes and all the revenue opportunities inside the mixed pools. And then another big update that we will have is the private yield farming strategies that we are developing inside the UniV3 and the hedging strategy. And those two strategies are available only for the Leech Club users. If you want to become one, browse our website and apply to the Leech Club, and we will contact you. And I think the same question goes to Mr. Sparsh. What are the biggest product updates that everyone can expect from the Plena Finance?
I would say that we're integrating more chains. Like we recently announced that we're going live on Tron. So our users would be able to easily move their funds from chains like Polygon BNB chain to Tron in one single tap. And just if you want to use Tron for USDT transfer, you can simply do it on our application and pay the transaction fee in USDT, just like you do it on a centralized exchange. And otherwise, if you want to interact with different dApps on Tron as well, you would be able to do it and get a much more seamless user experience like you're getting on Plena right now on different EVM compatible chains. You would be getting the same on Tron as well. And talking about the next updates, I think we're also integrating Linear. So we would be announcing that really soon. On top of that, we're more focused on our Plena Connect, and we've updated our SDK. So you would be seeing many more dApps integrating Plena Connect as well. so that they could actually provide you a much seamless user experience that everyone could use, or I would say every user can use to interact with the app. On top of this, I think that's it. I don't think I can share more about the new updates, but yeah, talking about revenue models. So our revenue model is to charge a user's fee, a small fee on every swap that they're doing. And also, when we're providing liquidity to smart portfolios, we would be charging you a small fee, and on some other features as well. But the thing is, the fee would be minimal, and that fee or the percentage of that fee would also be distributed to our token holders as well, or token stakers as well. So let's say if you're holding Plena tokens or you're staking those Plena tokens, you would keep on getting a portion of the revenue as well.
Okay, thank you. Guys, if your question was answered in Twitter, just post your EVM compatible wallet for your cookies right up under your question, or if the Leech Protocols page tagged Mr. Sparsh, so it means that your question was answered. Just put your EVM wallet and expect some cookies. So I think that's gonna be the last one. If any of our guests can choose anything from our community chat in Telegram, and I urge everyone to join our community chat in Telegram. It's gonna be nice, and after that we can wrap up. So, Mr. Sparsh or Vlad, do you see any interesting question in our community chat in Telegram to answer?
I don't know. That's all about Plena. So Sparsh, I guess if you see any nice questions, you can pick up them. From my side, that's all. We are fully covered the account abstraction story here.
Yeah, I think our community is really interested in your product. I think because it's so relevant to what we built and this easy DeFi approach. I think we should collaborate more. So take a look,
For
just
sure.
choose some best question and let's answer it, and after that we should wrap up.
So unfortunately, guys, I have to jump on another call. But yeah, it was really nice answering all the questions that the community asked, and thanks for inviting me to the Twitter space. But yeah, guys, I think if you guys have any more questions, you can definitely ask them in our Telegram group or Discord group. I would suggest that you ask it on Discord, and we would be happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, for joining us. It was really interesting and full of insight session of the Yield Farm Academy. And I hope Plena Finance gonna join with another lesson, the Yield Farming Academy, and maybe we can build something to provide more optimized, sophisticated yield farming strategies for your users. Thank you very much, guys. If you need something, just ping us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day. Thank you so much for joining this summer.
Thank you, Vlad. Bye.